YouTube, how's it going? There's a lot of great builds in our current sandbox that people have become comfortable with, but I'm here to show you another that can make you smile endlessly when you pull it off. I like to call this the Get Juked build.
Zone A captured. You have zone. Double down.
I am of course referring to the Mask of Bakris. Mask of Bakris grants you Light Shift, an ability that replaces your normal dodge with a longer range, faster moving dodge that makes you harder to see whenever you're using a stasis super. What this enhanced dodge ability allows you to do is pull off both offensive and defensive maneuvers you otherwise couldn't achieve with a normal dodge. Let me show you some examples.
Your ally is back in the fight.
If you have opponents team shooting your direction or a good sniper is waiting to pick off your teammate, Bakris can help aid your teammates revive by pushing them out of harm's way.
Your ally is back in the fight.
If you are out of position or weren't keeping an eye on your radar, Bakris can buy you space to reposition or get out of harm's way. To increase your odds of survival, try dodging in a direction that doesn't allow the opponent to have a line of sight on you. You can also bait a Storm's Edge if you time it right, which will position you just outside the kill zone and give you a chance of eliminating your opponent. These are only a few things I noticed from my experience. Bakris is forgiving when you need an instant burst of opportunity to turn the tide of death into survival. Let's talk about using this exotic offensively now.
Zone B captured. Zone advanced.
What makes Bakris so oppressive is the ability to invoke a sensitivity and reaction check on your opponent. With the instant burst of speed and animation, your opponent has to react fast enough to your movement advantage to stand a chance of coming out on top. But when we pair this with Prismatic, things become overwhelming for your opponent quickly. We equip Winter's Shroud and Threaded Spectre as our aspects to further the pain for our opponent. This allows us to slow the opponent's movement when we dodge near them, as well as leave a clone behind in case they move into the direction we dodged from. You can also use the dodge to close the distance between you and an opponent to open up opportunities. All of this combined overwhelms our opponent, which gives you a burst of advantage during an engagement. It's also worth noting that you are absolutely not invincible when engaging like this. You can still be caught with Suspend, a mouthful of pellets to the face, and other factors that can still punish you. But with that being said, let's look at some of the weapons that benefit from Bakris. When you use your shift ability, your arc and stasis weapons are given a 6% damage buff. Personally, I tested a few arc and stasis weapons and didn't feel the effects to be dramatic. I did, however, like the way Cold Heart felt. To me, it felt like I was melting my opponents faster with the buff enabled. Unending Tempest also felt great with Target Lock and Bakris enabled. There are some weapons such as the Prophet that can 2-tap with Kill Clip enabled, but it's very scenario dependent and requires some setup. I am recommending that you play with the weapons you are comfortable with already, even if they aren't stasis or arc. The shift ability on its own is already great, but if you main an arc or stasis weapon already, then it's a nice added benefit. Alright, let's jump into the abilities and the fragments. It's too hard to pass up the Smoke Bomb and the Swarm Nade combo until they eventually get nerfed, so this build is utilizing this combo since it offers a lot of lockdown. The great thing about this build is how personalized it can be based on your playstyle that Prismatic offers. What works best for me is Facet of Solitude. Landing precision shots proc Sever, which lowers opponent's damage for a short period. I also like to run Facet of Dawn, since when my smoke is activated, I can utilize Radiant for my next engagement. Facet of Blessing pairs nicely when getting close and personal. When finishing off an opponent with a melee attack, you start health regeneration. The last 3 fragments help with my Transcendence meter gain based on how I usually play, which includes Facet of Courage, Facet of Sacrifice, and Facet of Honor. Each give a nice stat boost, and I actually like the way I gain my Transcendence meter based off my playstyle. And that is the build, ladies and gentlemen. Your armor mods can be interchangeable, but if you want to hear some of my favorites, check out one of my previous videos which I have linked above. If you value your burst of movements to get out of harm's way, or to initiate on an opponent, then Mask of Bakris is your cup of tea. It's honestly so satisfying and thrilling, turning a corner and seeing an opponent's reaction as you eliminate them on your own terms, most of the time. If you think there's something I missed on the build or what could be added further to enhance it, please drop a comment below. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing. We're almost to 1,000 subscribers, and I aim to bring content that is both informational and exciting. To wrap things up, this has been a video by Sphrz, and I will see you in the next video.
You took them, now hold them. What can stop you if you... Double down. Zone A lost. Double down. Zone C lost. Enemy
Handle up. Do not give up. You alone will bring victory! pushing for victory. Punish them for it. Double down. Zone A captured. You have zone advantage. Zone B lost. Only one enemy is left. Opponent revive. Only one enemy is left. 1 minute left. 1 minute left, my friend. Only one enemy is left. Your ally is back in the fight. This is my favorite part.
That's why we have fire team. Finish them. Guardian to the right of you.